Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, and girls. And so we're going to talk about what is a 7-string guitar today. For those of you who have been stuck on a 6-string and are looking into them, I'm going to kind of give a brief explanation of essentially what a 7-string is. This guitar in particular is a Schecter C7FR. I don't know exactly if they make these anymore because I've had this for a number of years. It was my first 7-string. But they make a really, in particular, this model's, I like it. I have a few others. This one's definitely the beefiest sounding of them. So yeah, this is a 7-string guitar. As the name implies, C7FR. You got the Floyd Rose. This is a licensed Floyd Rose, so it's not an original by any means. But you also get 24 frets on this model, as well as a, when it's new, a very clean white finish opposed to this one. And yeah, so exactly what makes a 7-string guitar different from a 6-string? Well, the name is kind of self-explanatory. One's got 7 strings, the other's got 6. Well, where does the 7th string go? Top or the bottom? Interesting question. Most 7-string guitars have a low B added to them. Allows you to go lower. Now there are 7-string guitars designed to have a high A string, which goes even higher than the high E. This model does not have that, but they do exist. 8 strings tend to, at some point I remember seeing a lot of 8 strings with, instead of a lower string added again, they would have a high A. I know Rusty Cooley was a guitar player who had an 8 string like that, and he was really cool. I know he used it for a lot of violin interpretation onto the guitar to hit higher notes, so that was something interesting that he applied that to. But most of the time it is a low B, especially nowadays. And I keep my guitars, normally I keep them a half step down. I've made sure that this is in standard for instructional purposes. Another thing players will do is, instead of having a low B, they'll actually lower that an additional step to essentially emulate and copy the drop effect of like a drop D guitar. But instead of it being in drop D, obviously it's now going to be in A string because of the B note going down a whole step. So not to get into too much science here, but it's a lower drop D version to sum it up. Which is cool. That can be real helpful. You can apply that to have very wide and wall sounding, like just a wall of sound kind of thing going on. And yeah, so as I said, this 7-string is in standard tuning, and you can also, one of the cool things you can do is, excuse me, I don't know what's going on here, but one of the cool things you can do is to play guitars, like for instance riffs that were originally done on a lower tuned guitar. You can just do onto the 7-string by incorporating the 7-string. So an example of that would be something in the line of, we'll go with Black Sabbath's Children of the Grave. I am just because I know how things can be. I do not own any rights to this song whatsoever, and I am simply doing an interpretation, so it is not note for note. So, with that being said, now I'm obviously not having to use a guitar there that's tuned a whole 1.5 steps down to create a low E into a C sharp, which Tony used for that song. Instead, I'm able to create a power chord of C sharp 5, by incorporating the 7th string. Now, sorry, had the wrong button there. Now there are multiple other uses for the low B string. It's not all about metal by any means. You can really get some really nice wide sounding clean guitar with wide and deep. I mean, it's really cool. You can get some really cool effects with a 7th string on a clean guitar, essentially. So what I'm saying is, if you buy one, don't feel like you have to be locked into playing metal or hard rock or those kinds of things that you hear a lot of it. It can be used in many various ways that you'll discover in your playing. And yeah, so that is a brief rundown of my what a 7-string is. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, thanks.